All righty, thanks for coming out. Just a really good team win for us. Just really proud of our players, all the coaches and all the staff. Just remain focused. We had really good intentional focus throughout the week. Very good preparation. Give credit to Rutgers. That's a really tough, hard-nosed football team. Greg does a really good job with those guys on special teams, offense, defense. They got some really good players, and they play hard, and it's physical out there. So, as you can see, it was a great. It was November, Big Ten football, and we had good football weather, and we celebrated our veterans this weekend, and so just happy to be able to get the job done, get the win. We got 24-hour rule, so we'll come back tomorrow and be ready to keep chopping. But we did some good things today. It's important to finish strong and play our best football in November. I think that's a sign of high character and good football team to play your best down the stretch. And so that's what we're aiming to do. So I'll open up for questions.
Mel, if you don't mind, can you maybe let us inside your head in those last 4 minutes of the game? I mean, obviously as a coach, you know what you want to happen, but what's going through your mind?
I can't do that. I can't let you in like that.
Is it too much profanity?
I wouldn't say that. You said that, not me. But no, we want to start fast and finish strong. We want to play a full 60 minutes. We were pleased that we were able to make some field goals. That was positive. We were able to recover an onside kick. It was very positive. Obviously, we don't want to let them score at the end, and obviously, we like to go down and score touchdowns. That didn't happen, so that gives us something to work on this week.
Mel, you mentioned it being kind of a typical November football game. I think it was 82 rushing plays and more than 400 yards on the ground. I guess from your perspective, what has this offensive line done over the course of the last 3 or 4 weeks to kind of develop into the ability to move guys around and get the run game going?
Yeah, well, I just think Coach Cap does a really good job with technique and fundamentals and coaching guys to play with toughness and play hard and finish, and that's showing up when guys are developing and getting better. The run game it starts with the offensive line, but it's also, it's more than the offensive line. The runners have to understand the design of the play and hit the hole the way the play is designed, and that has a lot to do with it. And we're doing more of that. And then we need really high level production in the run game from our tight ends. They're a big part of what we do in the run game, and also the receivers. And then like today, you can see Peyton did a really good job IDing some of the fronts and some of the looks that their defense was giving us, and he was able to get us out of certain plays and into more favorable plays for the run game. So it's all of the above, and so we're getting better, and we're seeing been facing the past couple of weeks some pretty good defenses, some highly ranked defenses. So. We still got a lot of football left to play, so we're looking to play our best football, this week coming up, Indiana.
On the other side of that, with the run defense, I think it's the 7th straight running back over 100, but obviously your numbers are down. I guess, what did they do in their run game, and how did you kind of slow it down when it needed to be? Yeah,
initially we didn't do a great job of. We were making contact, but we weren't wrapping up, and so and they were doing a really good job running hard, and so we just had to do a better job tackling. Then it became a perimeter support game, so they kind of got us on our edges a little bit, and so we have to do a better job with our perimeter run force, pretty much from the C gap out, and so some things that we need to work on, and then some crack replays. They take the receiver and crack our primary run force guys, and we need to do a better job replacing with the corner. And so there's a lot there. There's all of that stuff is fixable, and then we need to get more guys ready to play. We start to get thin up there, and if we can get off the field on third down, then we'll be exposed to less plays as well.
Well, you mentioned the tight ends, and it seemed like you guys featured them more today than you have in some other recent weeks. I'm wondering if that was a concerted effort based on something you saw, if that's something sort of philosophically or based on their talent you wanted to take advantage of more this season, and that's why it played out the way it did.
So we knew that the tight ends would be a factor in the passing game. This week, based upon some of the things that they were trying to do, and obviously they're trying to take away some of our receivers, our wide receivers. But obviously, backs and tight ends can be very effective in the passing game, and we have good tight ends. We have really good design. Coach Johnson, Jay, and the rest of the staff, they put together a really good game plan, to take advantage of what we thought we could get in the passing game, and make sure that we moved the ball around, and we took what the defense was able to give us, what they gave us, and Peyton did a good job finding those guys. So we have a lot of flexibility in our offense to get the ball to our backs, tight ends, and our receivers, and also the quarterback run game as well. So it's really good game plan and good execution, and we still have room for improvement.
Well, no turnovers today by either team, but they did have 14 penalties. How much does it change things for you defensively when they're always behind the sticks? And imagine you don't spend a lot of time on 3rd and 29s.
Yeah, well, how many penalties do they have?
14 for 103 or 7.
Yeah, every 100 yards in penalties is like a touchdown. So, and then when they're behind the sticks, it's obviously better for us, and get them in some obvious passing situations, so we can get into some more of our schemes to take advantage of some create some one-on-ones and pass rush and things like that. They had a couple third down runs that hurt us, so that's something that we need to address. But yeah, when we get tackles for loss, or we can back them up and get them behind the sticks, then we can it's harder. Penalties on offense are drive killers, and we know that. So that's what happens.
One other thing, looked like Berger and Broussard had jump, really finishing runs. Are they healthier than they've been? What's the difference with them at this point of the season?
Oh no, I mean they're just running hard, and we have room in the running game, and we're able to, and Elijah's, he's been able to get in there. He was effective in the screen game today. So we guys are just playing hard and executing the game plan. I mean, there's no real significant difference in these guys in terms of physically, what they are, what they were today as opposed to what they were last week or the week before.
In the middle here. I was wondering if just how big you think the Jacob Slade's blocked field goal was there in the fourth quarter, because it looked like they were, obviously pushing back on you guys.
Yeah, so that was huge, and we talked about that all week about being able to get some push, inside on their guards, and we have been close in some other games this year. Even recently we've been really close on blocking some some field goals, some extra points. We just didn't get them, so it didn't really show up. But we were able to show the guys that we were just really, really this close from getting a hand on them, up the middle. So we saw some opportunities inside, and we knew that if we got in those situations, that we could get some push and we would have a chance to get a block. And we knew that that was going to make a difference in the game, because we knew it was going to be a close game. We prepared for a close game, and we knew that an extra point, block extra point, or a block field goal was going to be huge. And that one right there was a huge play in the game. And that's just playing with effort and toughness. 6 seconds of play, not taking anything for granted and getting after it. So it was really good execution and really good toughness.
Right here, Cal Halliday had 20 tackles today. When you see that kind of stat line, what's your reaction? What does it say about that type of player? 20
tackles, that's a lot of tackles. So he's gonna have to get his feet up tonight and rest up, hydrate, and get ready to go. I mean, that's a lot of tackles. I mean, so he's he had a really good game last week, and he's all over the field. He really doesn't leave the field. He also plays on special teams. So he's one of our best players. He's very, very productive, and he's having fun playing the game. I mean, he's a leader, like in his own right. He's been really like a stabilizing force for us out there. He's been very consistent and constant. He's always been out there for us, and which has really helped. And so I'm really happy for him, because he puts a lot into it, and he practices really hard. He studies the game. He's a very unselfish guy, and obviously he's a playmaker. He made plays a year ago. He continues to do it.
Mel, Jaden was just in here, back here with the cameras.
Yeah.
Jaden was just in here talking about the new approach you've been having with the kickers and distracting them. How have you seen Ben respond to that?
Who told you that?
Jaden. Reed.
Jay Reed?
Yeah. Should you not have said that?
Yeah, we had an open competition this week in practice for field goal kicking. So, normally we at the end of practice when we kick field goals, we have like offense. They're over there doing ball security and things like that. But this week we just had everyone up, and we just kind of got after it. Had a lot of noise, put a lot of pressure on those guys, and kind of had open competition, and which was good. It was really good. The guys had, it's important. Like all of our guys know like how important the kicking game is, and so I mean, you could, I don't know, I mean, on the sideline you could hear the guys like really excited and celebrating like when we made those field goals, because we had a little bit of a tough time with that all year, and those field goals were big for us. We obviously had confidence that we can make them as well. Good snap, good hold, good kick, good protection, good operation.
Two more, Steven and then Chris to wrap us.
Mel, a week after an emotional big-time win for you guys down there, you were shorthanded. You're still a little shorthanded. You got some injuries today. Just all that's happened, and you guys sort of kept them in a chase position. It seemed like there was sort of a maturity and an eye on the ball type of thing from your team tonight. Just how pleased were you with that, and did you sort of sense that coming in, and just what does it take, what does it say, I guess, about this team to have that high last week and to sort of maintain a workman-like type of approach from what we could tell today?
Yeah, it's important not to get too high, not to get too low, because it's all about consistency and performance, and so like I said, the guys are. They've gained a lot of experience this season, and have remained focused and blocked out the noise. And we, the guys understand like it's about how we play. It's about how we focus. It's how we prepare. It's how we execute, and discipline and toughness, and being unselfish, and then staying neutral in our thinking in terms of just understanding, hey, here's the situation, this is what we need to do next, and to do that, it takes a lot of mental toughness, it takes a lot of intensity, So our guys are very, very focused. They're very intense in everything that they do, and work with a sense of urgency. When we just have more time on task. and just a better, just more understanding of what it takes, on a day-to-day basis to prepare to be able to be in position to win games. So what you see is what you get from our guys. I mean, we're not surprised by what we're seeing from our guys because we just we see them every day, and they just go to work, keep their head down. We become a tighter, group, a tighter organization. Like everyone's, coaching for each other, playing for each other, and just really, blocking out the noise and moving forward. So I think that's what you're seeing. As guys are just always just keep chopping, just taking the next step, not getting too high, not getting too low, understanding that, it's all about execution, and it's standard like over feelings. It's more, we have to perform to a standard. It doesn't matter like how we feel, at the particular time. It's just what needs to be done, and let's get after it, and let's figure out a way to get it done.
Itself a little bit later in the year when you can circle back and you guys have won 3 or 4. I know the message was still pretty similar when you guys had lost 4 in a row. You keep saying the same thing. How the result is different on the back end. Does it sort of feed off itself and resonate and be great and stuff? I guess.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a. It seems like it's cliche, but like there's not that much difference between winning and losing. Like in sports, like in football, especially, it's literally a game of inches. One play here or there can make the difference in a huge difference in the outcome of the game. Momentum plays. You can just go back and look at certain plays in games that. They make a huge difference, and you make those plays, and you execute it, and you win the game. You don't do it, and then you can lose, and you can lose badly, So it's all about, like we've talked all year about, is it scheme, is it coaching, is it players? I keep coming back to execution, which, it's like, well, how do you get better execution? Well, practice, and preparation and teaching and, evaluation, owning, what happens on the field, like being accountable. The coaches have done a really good job throughout the season, like slowing it down for the players, not taking anything for granted, blocking out the noise, saying, listen, we're going to focus on teaching, developing the guys, making sure they understand what they need to do and like why, like how to do it, why it's important to do things a certain way, and just really just taking something that's complicated and making it simple for the guys so that they can understand, so they can get better. And if they understand like what they're doing, then they can repeat things, and then they can become more consistent. And so that's where we're seeing more consistency, and we're finally starting to play complementary football because guys do understand what it takes and how to do it, and can do it consistently throughout a game, for the most part. So it's not like we reinvented the wheel or anything like that. We've really just kind of trusted the process and kind of just stayed with it and been resilient. And it's, obviously we've had some bumps in the road. It's been painful at times, but I mean, if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it,
Chris, last one. Mel, on the guys who are suspended, do you have any update on the situation with either the Big Ten or the police? And does there come a point where you and Alan have to revisit those suspensions based upon how long this process is taking?
Yeah, well, I don't have any updates, and like I said, these guys will be suspended until the investigations taking place, and then at that point we will regroup. And so we're just taking it one day at a time.
But these guys, obviously, their clock is running for some of them with their eligibility. Is that something that you and Alan have to take into account?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything, every clock, everybody's clock is running. Your clock's running, my clock's running. It's just, it just keeps going, right? So we have to take it one day at a time based upon the information that we have, and that's what we're doing. It is what it is. All right, thank you guys, appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of the day. Noon game, beautiful thing. Go Green.